Hello students, today I am going to teach you your fourth chapter of your English 2 confusing adjectives. Now, what are adjectives? We all know what are adjectives. Adjectives are the words that modify a noun or a pronoun. So, in this chapter, confusing adjectives, at very first, take out of books, go to page number 19. Okay. So there's a warm-up part here. Read these sentences. My uncle has few teeth in his jaws, but his comb has a few teeth. So see here, a few. The adjective part is used. These are the confusing parts where few will be there, where a few will be applicable. So my uncle has a little hair on his head, but his garden has little grass. So the highlighted words in the sentences you just read are adjectives that are most often used incorrectly. Incorrectly because it's a confusing one. Similarly, there are some other adjectives too that we easily confuse when we use them. Let us read or learn about these adjectives, the confusing ones. First part is each and every. So it is used. Now you have some of the rules over here. By following these rules, you will know which adjective, the correct one, you will have to place in the bracket or place in the finger blanks. Well, it's and every. It is used to refer to individuals or separate items in a list of two or more. So it is used to the individual or separate items in a list of two or more. Okay, it's a two or more. Okay, you can underline this part also. It is used with singular nouns and the verb agrees accordingly. Some of the examples been given here. I have 5 pencils and each pencil is well sharp. So two or more, when we say 5 pencils, that is 2 or more than 2. So 5 pencils, then we will use its. The family posted a guard at its gate to avoid trespassers. It is an adjective when used before a noun. It is a pronoun when used alone in place of a noun. So some of the examples been given here. Example: its shoe has been polished. That's an adjective part. It's now again the second one here. It is pronoun. Okay, we have 2 bicycles. It has a flat. Go to page number 20. Every is used to refer to individuals or separate items in a group of 3 or more. Every 3 or more. It means 2 or more. Okay, every 3 or more. It is used with singular nouns and the verb agrees accordingly. Before reading the examples, there's a box over there. So let's go there. Every is also used to refer to how often something happens or is done. So how often when something happens or is done, then every is used. Like for example, is given here. There is a buzz every hour from this clock. So the clock has an alarm after every hour. The clock makes sound, that buzz sound. For example, some of the examples are given here. They checked every car that was crossing the border. The school gave every participant a certificate. So these are some of the examples where every is used. Now A part, complete the sentences using each or every. I have done 8. So check it out. I have given a notes also. Check it out. Then in the box it is given like it lays emphasis on every individual member. So it lays emphasis means it gives a special we can point out to on every individual member. Every lays emphasis on all members of a group. Now both each and every take a singular verb. Okay. Now come to many and much. So some rules are there where many is used, and some rules where much is used. Many is used with plural countable nouns. So remember, plural countable nouns. Many is used. It says a large number of something. So large number, that number thing. When there is a number thing, then many is used. For examples are there. Many students were helping in the literacy campaign. Many flowers bloom in my garden during spring. So many takes a plural verb. So many takes a plural verb. Much. Coming to much, much is used with singular uncountable nouns. So much is singular. Much is singular, uncountable. Many is plural, countable. Okay. It says a large amount of something. See, in much, amount, many, number. Okay, many, it says a large number. Now much, it says a large amount. For example, much water was wasted due to the leakage from the pipe. So it's amount we are talking about. Okay, what was wasted? Much amount of water was wasted. This year, she has put in much effort to prepare for exam for exams. So this is like we can say amount of effort that she has put. Much takes a singular verb. We usually use much and many in negatives and interrogatives. For example, there are not many people in favor of the ban. Did you find many mistakes in my writing? There is not much time to prepare a long speech. How much money have you saved from your pocket money? So these are some of the examples where much and many is used. Go to page number 21. Here, B number part, complete the sentences using much and many. That I have done it. I have shared the notes. Come to the fewer and less, where fewer is used, where less is used. Fewer is the comparative form of few. So the comparative form is fewer. Less is the comparative form of little. So little, less. Few, fewer. Okay, the comparative form we are talking about. Fewer is used with countable nouns to mean not many. Fewer is something like not many. For example, there were fewer votes cast in his favor. So fewer votes means not many votes. Okay, a little amount of votes we are talking about, not many. I watch fewer TV programs now as my exams are around the corner. So fewer is something like it's not many. Okay, less is used with uncountable nouns to mean a smaller amount. So when we use less, that means it's a smaller amount. For example, my father gets less time to spend with us as he has to travel a lot. So this is something like less time, that means a smaller amount of time, very little time. Please spread less cheese on my toast. Number C, fill in blanks with fewer or less. I have already done it. Check it out. Coming to the little, a little, a few and a few part. Little and a little are used with uncountable nouns and says how much. When there is a how much, the question is how much, then little and a little is used. Little suggests shortage. It means hardly any or almost none. Some examples are there is little milk to spare for the purpose. So there's something like means hardly there is any milk. Okay, little milk to spare. When little is used, that means hardly any milk was there. He gave little attention to my problems. So that means he hardly gave any attention to the problems. So go to page number 22. A little suggests some amount of quantity. So a little, when we use a little means hardly there is anything. Little, when we use a little, that means there is some quantity. Very little, very less, but there is some quantity. For example, they had a little milk to spare for the purpose. So that means there was at least some quantity of milk is there. It's a lesser one, but there is. Only a little effort is required to push this bed aside. Okay, so there's a box something there. Little and few have negative meanings. They mean not much or many. A little and a few suggests some. So if a little and a few, when we say, it's like some is there, something is there. Few and a few are used with plural countable nouns and suggests how many. So it says how many. Few and a few are used with plural countable nouns and suggests how many. When the question is like asked, like when we get the questions of how many, then we can use few and a few. Few suggests shortest. It means hardly any or almost none. is with same with the little part. Okay, few and little part is same, hardly there is any. Some examples are, for example, there were a few apples that were not ripe. Few people write letters these days. A few is some or a smaller quantity. Again, it's like a little and a few, both are little bit of same part. So this is something like a smaller quantity of a smaller number. For example, see, a few, that's a number. Okay, now when a little, that's is amount or quantity. For example, pass me a few marbles from the jar. In the second one, she allowed her a few minutes to think and answer. So D part, complete these sentences with little, a little, few, or a few. I have done it. Check it out. In my next video, I'm going to continue with the rest part of the chapter. Thank you.